All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is, and right here, right now, we actually have a phenomenal, talented Canadian MC right here live on the line, man. We got the one and only Caijo right here. How you doing this evening, brother?
Hey, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Thank you for asking. Peace. Thank you for having me on the show.
Hey, man, you are most certainly welcome, man. It's definitely an honor to have you on the radio station airwaves this evening, man. You know, you're a stellar MC, man, so it's an honor to be able to converse with you.
I appreciate you.
But I know you're a busy guy, man, so I'm going to dive right into this. But I have to ask first and foremost, man, taking you back to the beginning of your amazing career this far, what actually made you decide to get into the music industry initially?
Honestly, like, I never really had any desire to be a rapper when I was, like, in school or anything like that. But one of my best friends back in Zimbabwe, where I'm from, he convinced me. Like, it took him for, like, a while. He was like, yo, Caijo, you got to rap, man. You got to rap. You got to rap. You have to rap. You could do this. And then one day, I don't know, we were just at like a homie's place, and he had a microphone set up, and, you know, I was high as hell, and they were like, yo, do you want to get on the microphone? And I got on, and I actually kind of like what happened, so now we're doing it.
I gotta say, man, that's absolutely phenomenal, man. Like, if you don't mind me asking, like, did you, when you first got on the microphone, was that actually in your home country of Zimbabwe, or was that here in Canada where you actually first jumped on the microphone?
So that was in Zim. So that was in Zim where I started. So everything I do up until now is kind of all dedicated to the people who I started making music with. So it's always all to them. You know, it's always got to have that connection back home.
And also,
that's day one.
And I gotta say, man, you know what I mean? You definitely brought that talent right into Canada, man. And I gotta say, Canadian hip hop needs artists like yourself, man, to still keep it real.
Man, for all my real ones, we're grateful to hear that. Grateful to hear that the real translates.
But also as well, man, in 2015, you actually released the song Killer Mindset featuring Leakage. I was wondering, how did yourself and Leak get connected? And of course, what was it like just working with him on that project?
Well, Leakage is actually my brother, like my blood brother, like from the same womb. Like that's my blood brother. He's my younger brother. And when we first started making music, he kind of saw how I was moving, and then he was inspired to get on the microphone too. So we did that, and Killer Mindset was kind of just that song was just sort of, I don't know, I just heard the beat and it just gave me this '90s vibe, and I just kind of felt like Biggie, to be honest. And so just went in with that whole flow, and then Leakage was like, yo, I like this song, man. He was like, yo, KJ, you've got to put me on this, so we let him on.
And was that his first time ever, like, actually performing on his song, or was he doing his thing before this joint?
Oh, you can actually check him out. Like, he's got a whole SoundCloud page. Like, he actually released his own like little mixtape that same year, in 2015. He actually released his whole mixtape, and that's Juvenalia. So he does his thing, man. Like, that kid spits hot fire, I'm telling you.
And also as well, man, August 14th of 2020, you actually released the single, Gucci Mane Flows. I was wondering, can you tell us a bit more about this single? And of course, where can we actually stream or purchase it today?
Well, Gucci Mane Flows is actually available everywhere. You can get that, YouTube, Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, wherever you stream, you can get that. And that song kind of came about because I was gearing up to start like taking this thing seriously, you know. I think Gucci Mane is just a big influence in the way he took his real life experiences and sort of created that like trap mindset, what he did for trap music, and brought it to kind of ushered in where it's at now. And so Gucci Mane is a big influence, and for me, I felt like I was going through a shift at the time, like I was going through a little change and starting to step into making music for real. So I didn't want to call the song "Dope for Your Ears." It felt like a giveaway. It was kind of a little shout out to Gucci Mane, and that's kind of where that song came about from.
And I gotta say as well, man, it definitely is a phenomenal joint. So everybody that is listening, make sure you search up that song, and if you like it, definitely add it to your favorite Spotify playlist.
Yeah, fun fact about that song, it's actually clean too. Like, I didn't even realize it. It has like a little explicit warning on it everywhere you find it, but it's actually clean. Like, it actually doesn't have any swearing in it. That wasn't even on purpose. That just happened that way.
And also as well, man, on April April 20th of 2021, you actually released the EP titled "Dope for Your Ears." I was wondering, man, what's the story behind this amazing project? And of course, where can we actually buy ourselves a copy today, man? Because I gotta say, when I actually saw you at that concert, man, I got that record. I actually listened to that joint on the way home, and I gotta say, man, absolutely phenomenal.
Sorry, you cut there for a second.
Oh, my apologies. I was just saying, I was going to say on April 20th of 2021, you actually released the EP titled "Dope for Your Ears." I was wondering, man, what is the story behind that phenomenal record? And of course, where can our listeners actually snag themselves a copy? Because when I actually bought that CD off you at the concert, man, I got to say, absolutely phenomenal record.
Hey, first off, thank you, man. Dope for Your Ears. Yeah, you can get that. You can stream it anywhere that's real streaming. So all the sites we mentioned before, except SoundCloud. I think I should put it on SoundCloud one of these days. But yeah, you can stream it anywhere. You can also get a copy from my website, which is Caijo.com, and you can order a copy there. There's actually only less than 100 copies left, and that's a collector's edition, that CD. So there's never going to be any more printed after this last box is done. Like that, that's it. So it's a collector's edition. And we've got less than 100 now. If you're in Toronto, you can get them at Dead Dog Records, Play the Record, a few other record stores there in Toronto. So it's available there too. But if you want it direct, you can get it from our website, and that way you can leave a little message if you want anything special with it. Yeah, and I guess the story behind that is, like I was saying, Tapmeister is that's my brother who first got me into rapping. He, like him, myself, and everyone else who were making music with back in Zim, "Dope for Your Ears" was just like this thing that we used to say. Like that was what our music. That's what we used to call our music. This is dope for your ears. That's the music. So as I was coming back into the music, it just felt appropriate to name the project "Dope for Your Ears" because it's me. It was kind of me arriving officially in Canada. That's how I felt. Like sort of this is my offering to the game now. And what does that offering come from? It comes from where I come from. And where I come from, we did "Dope for Your Ears." So I kind of wanted Canadians who are going to tap in with me, and the rest of the world is going to tap in now to know that "Dope for Your Ears." It's all an ongoing story, So the music I'm making now, I've grown obviously, but I'm still trying to make "Dope for Your Ears," something that gives you that dopamine when you listen to it. And yeah, it's dope for your ears. It takes you something negative or something that has a negative connotation to it, like dope, and then we're turning it into a good thing. And that's alchemy, baby. So that's dope for your ears.
And while we're still actually on the topic of this particular record, man, one of my favorite songs off it is actually a song titled "Dave Chappelle." And the one thing I was wondering, man, what actually made you decide to create a song based upon the comedian legend?
Like, I think that the answer to that is in the question, man. Like, he's a legend. And for me, Dave Chappelle's like my favorite comic ever. And the dude one day I was walking to work and I just had something just hit me. I was like, I need to make a song called Dave Chappelle. And I didn't have any beat to it. I had no lyrics. I just felt like I need to make a song called Dave Chappelle because Dave Chappelle's an icon. The dude, he can make you think while entertaining you and really give you something to go home and like some real food for thought. And it mixed in and around entertainment, good entertainment too. So I just felt like that's something that I want to tap into because as a rapper and cornerstone for hip hop is kicking knowledge. And so we don't want to just have dope bars and that was tight, that was catchy, but also want to give something for people to think about, and something that people might be able to listen to, and when they come back later, there's a little bit more conversation to be had around those lines when you dissect them because, I'm speaking from the heart.
And also as well, man, on September 23rd, you and I both know that you actually performed at Live on Elgin, where not only myself, but dozens of others were in attendance. For the listeners that didn't get the opportunity to attend, I have to ask, what was it like traveling from Toronto to Ottawa and performing at that little venue, Live on Elgin?
Man, it was crazy because, we were just coming out of this whole COVID lockdown mess, and thankfully we're still alive. So we're just coming out of that. It was pretty crazy, and I lived in Ottawa for a bit, so it kind of felt like a bit of a homecoming in a way. You know, I left Ottawa, and then Dope Ear came out after I moved to Toronto. And so going back there to do that performance and get that concert going, it felt like a bit of a homecoming, to be honest.
And I gotta say as well, man, I enjoyed going to that concert because with, like you said, with COVID, man, everything was shut down. So that was like my first getting back out there and going to concerts and whatnot, man. And I really think that venue had a phenomenal setup, man. That drink system was lit.
Yo, Live on Elgin is legit. Like, that's definitely legit. Anyone looking to perform in Ottawa, you know, get a good, like, intimate setting with you and your audience, like, I highly recommend Live on Elgin and tapping into those people. And, like, you know, John is a really fantastic person. John, he's the owner. He runs the place. He's just dope, man. Solid gold human being. So I highly recommend any artist or management that's, you know, checking this out right now to get in touch with them, man, because that's a solid venue. Everything. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's a solid venue, well run, well managed, great hospitality for the artists. Like I got there and I was like, oh shit, am I famous? You know, like it was proper.
And also, when we're actually on the topic of performances and whatnot, man, on October 24th, you actually had the opportunity to perform at the local artist showcase at the Underpass Skate Park. I was wondering if you can shed some light on that event, and of course, do you actually have any more up and coming performances? That way, our listeners can slide on through and get themselves some Caijo tickets.
I mean, we're always working on trying to get as many shows as possible. So there's some things in the pipeline, but nothing I can really speak on just yet, because when things are finalized, you know, I don't want to say, check this out, and it's not ready. So the moment anything's finalized, you know, I guess you can follow me on IG, and I'll always announce through there when things are ready and the tickets are available, links are live, when dates are confirmed. I'll always be quick to share that. So we're always working on things, trying to put, you know, God willing, we'll put something together for end of November, beginning December. So we'll see, you know, watch this space. And as soon as tickets are available, I will say something. Yeah, I mean, that's for October 24th, Toronto 2.0. That was just a local artist showcase for other people based in and around Toronto. Underpass Skate Park is a legendary location. And that's us just taking up space. You know, as artists, one of the hardest things to really get sometimes is time on stage or time on the microphone. And so what we're kind of doing with Roragahu, that's the movement. Roragahu is just about taking up space, you know, and it's our right to do that. So we go into a public setting, and we put on a bunch of talented people, and they'll get to showcase their talent. And Toronto 2.0 is called that because it's sort of the next wave. You know, everybody knows Toronto. If you call it Toronto A1, you know, Drake or The Weeknd or Party Next Door or whatever, like, you know, whoever's holding it down, Pressa, like whoever's holding it down for Toronto is holding it down for Toronto, and that's cool. So 2.0 is just like the idea behind it. It's the next wave of underground artists ready to jump up to the next step.
But I have to ask, man, what is next for yourself? Like, is there anything we happen to miss during this broadcast? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote? Well, we still got you here live on 97.7 FM this evening.
I mean, I guess promote myself a little bit. Promote the people I'm working with. You know, there's a bunch of really, really talented people. Everyone that was on that poster for the Toronto 2.0, I highly recommend checking them all out. Like, they're crazy artists, man. That I'm actually able to absorb a bit of game from just being in their presence. You know, the moment we get there, and so I definitely recommend checking out all the artists that are there, that 2.0, you know. I think a few people that come to mind right away, like right out the gate, I think you know, like Amani Ill-Fated, she closed the show, super talented performer. You know, just like me, she's out here in Canada in the diaspora. My man Eflo 2 and Heather Russell, they're like a dude, and in Toronto, I'll tell you, like an iconic duo, man. They're out there on the streets dusting, doing their thing, and again, these are just people who I'm around them. I see the way like Amani performed at the showcase, and I'm like, oh shit, I got a long way to go. Like, my performance game needs to step up, you know. Geez, I think I want to tell people about Rise. Like, Rise Edutainment is really doing some serious work in Toronto, and I'm sure in the greater area as well. for underground artists like myself and just the whole hip-hop culture scene. You know, they're very involved. Of course, my main man, Roman Dude, he's just released a new single every day. I highly recommend people check that out. Yeah, and geez, I don't know, like, I'm always in studio, so who knows, you could get a new song from me any day.
But also, man, this is the time in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that does slide through to the radio station airwaves, just like a chance to give, like, shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to. But most of all, man, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything you got going on if they're not already doing so.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you can find me on IG at Caijo, and that's just CAIJ0. Put a 0 on the end because we want it to be a little bit hard to find, you know? Diamonds, you don't just find diamonds everywhere. Twitter, probably don't follow me on Twitter, to be honest. It's a mess. Like, I don't recommend anybody really follow me there. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. Like, Instagram is kind of where that's where I communicate with people that are tapped in, that are following, that want to know more. And I guess, yeah, check that out because that's where I'll communicate more about music.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, man, it definitely was an honor just to actually be able to converse with you again on my radio station airways, man. It definitely was an honor to meet you a couple months back in Ottawa, Ontario. But for now, man, I gotta say, definitely have yourself a wonderful night. And hopefully down the line, man, we can actually continue to build and actually bring you back on the radio station sometime soon.
Hey, my bro, you're a legend, man. Thank you so much for having me on the show. And, like, this, from the moment we met, you know, you opened your heart to me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. You're a real one.
Hey, man, I definitely appreciate the love, man. You know what I mean? I just love real hip-hop, man. And it's people like you that keep that real music going, man. So at the end of the day, if I can show some love and motivate you to keep making more music, then I'm doing my job properly as not only as a DJ that spins records, but also as a radio personality as well.
And you're doing that. You're doing exactly that. So you keep doing what you're doing, and it pushes me to keep doing what I'm doing, and then, hey, maybe we'll motivate one other person somewhere else to keep doing what they're doing. And just go after it, man. So thank you.
Hey, man, you are most certainly welcome, Caijo. Thank you so much again, man, and definitely have yourself a wonderful night out there in the GTA.
Hey, Moto, I appreciate you.
Hey, I appreciate you as well, man. Thank you so much. Have yourself a wonderful night.
You too, yeah. One.